Hello and welcome to PyNet Labs. My name is Shadaf and I am a lead data scientist in PyNet Labs. So welcome to a new video about an interesting technology that we are going to learn today, and that is about nothing other than SQL. SQL. So can anyone say what is uh, the full form of SQL? If anyone knows, please put it in the comment. So that is structured query language. And as a data analyst, as a data scientist, or any other data jobs, why SQL is very much important. Okay, why it is important? We'll see some facts and figures about that, some surveys or some statistics that says why SQL is very, very much important in today's life. So according to the survey of Stack Overflow, you guys can go and check on the internet. According to the survey of Overflow by the professional developers, the survey did by the professional developers, they say that the most used technology about them, the first is the JavaScript, which they use, and the second most used technology is SQL. And why it is important is that because nowadays data is being generated, and let me just give you another figure that every day we generate about 2.5 quintillion bytes of data. That is about 17 zeros after 2.5. That much amount of data we are generating every day. And we can compare it that if every human being on this planet start filling the Excel sheet, that would be that much amount of data that we generate. That is 2.5. And this is one of the most important thing that why SQL is used by professions so much. See, SQL is used by data analyst and data scientist more. Why? Because our work is to play with the data, to remove insights with the data, right? To remove insights with the data and to communicate with the data. Where our data is stored? Our data is stored into databases. Yes, our data is stored into databases. And if I want to communicate with my database, I need a language to communicate with it. That is my structured query language. So if I want to communicate with my database, I want to remove something, I want to extract my data through the database, I need to learn SQL. And that is why it is very much important. And it is said that according to LinkedIn jobs, there are 45% of job increase. And this report is not made by me, it's made by LinkedIn. Okay, guys can go ahead and check into the internet as well. So this is very much important that why do we need to learn SQL as a data profession, whatever data profession in that matter. You can be a data scientist, you can be a data analyst, you can be a data engineer, whatever it is, you have to learn SQL. And let me just give you another survey. And this survey is by data nerds, and the most skill needed for data nerds in the sense data jobs, data jobs. The most skill required about data jobs is nothing but you can say data analyst, data scientist, data engineers. All those things comes under the data jobs. So the most needed skill according to that survey is my Python on the first place, that is about 55.2%. And the next thing is my SQL. So this is how it is very much important in today's life. And we'll see a very important function in SQL, that is my Windows function. So what is this Windows function? What do you know about Windows function? If you know, please put the answer in the comment box. Okay, so what is this window function? This window function is not the window which you are seeing right now into your screen. That is not a window function. A window function is a function that allows analysts to perform calculation across rows while keeping all the detailed data visible. Like whenever we use group by function, if you have seen group by function, how it is used to group by the total data. But the window function is that I can use any other function like my aggregation functions or any sum functions to a particular window, and my original data will be into intact. And it's nothing but they add a new calculated column. Nothing but if I have my data, I use Windows function, it is going to add another calculated column or over a windows of rows, so over a windows of rows. So this is what my Windows function by definition is. So we'll see more about this. Okay. So why this window function is useful for a data analyst or a data scientist in that matter, any other, and say data profession. Okay. So the first and foremost thing is that it solves real business questions. Like if I want to solve or if I want to find questions like what are the top three customers in each region? If I have a region like East and west or north, right? If I have such kind of region, if I want to find the top three customers, okay, if I want to find that into my SQL or if I want to use into databases, I can find by using my Windows function. I can also find like a month over growth for each product and how does each day sales compare to the previous days, like what was yesterday's day's sales, what is today's sales, what is tomorrow's sales. If I want to compare those things, I can use Windows function and it performs very well. Why? We'll see into next. So another thing is that it simplifies complex queries. We use subqueries, nested queries, right, in SQL. If I use Windows function, it simplifies my query. I can read the queries very proper. I can understand that query into very easier manner. And another important aspect of using Windows function is that it keeps the data intact. So whatever we data had into row level, it keeps into proper, and we can calculate rank, sum, or compare while still seeing the full data set. We'll be having our full data set. Like by definition, it says, yeah, I'll be having my full data set. Whenever I use Windows function, I will be getting an added calculated column. So this is what my calculated column looks like. Okay, so this is what my calculated columns in, and obviously it saves times and also boost productivity, and faster insights mean faster reports, dashboards. Okay, this is why we use Windows function. And basically, what Windows function is, we'll see more. No. So Windows function is that whenever I want to apply any function over a certain window, by definition is nothing but if I want to apply a Windows function, apply aggregation, ranking, and analytical functions over a particular window or a set of rows. If I want to apply this particular function to a certain row or a specific window of my dataset, that time I will be using Windows function. And here the keyword which is used is over. And over clause is used within window function to define which window. We'll be using over keyword to define which window we'll be working on. And this is what a Windows function actually looks like. Whenever I use aggregation functions like a sum, average, etc., to a particular data, I get a single output, right? If I want to calculate sum of all these three, I'll get a total sum here, maybe 200, right? Or if I want to calculate average, I may get 100. Okay, so this is nothing but if I use aggregation functions, I get a single output. But whereas if I use Windows function, for every window, I will get a specific answer. Okay, for window, the row maintain their separate identities, I can say. Okay, so this is what the actual difference between my functions and a Windows function is. So how do we use that? What is the Windows function or what is the syntax of my Windows function? So here we'll be using a column name first, whatever column name you want to apply a window function on. And here I will be applying function, like which function I will be using. I can use a function of aggregation function, ranking function, and analytical function. So these are the three types of function which I can use into my Windows function. And then I will be using, as I said, over keyword or an over function, and it defines a window, nothing but where I want to partition by, I want to order it by, or I want to row by. So here I can use anything, partition, order by a row or a range. So this is what a syntax of Windows function is. What is the syntax? Nothing but column name. I'll be using a function, then I'll be using a over keyword. Let me just give you some window function terms. As we saw, Windows function, it applies aggregation or ranking and analytical functions over a particular window. And what is the expression? Expression is nothing but the name of the column where I want to apply the Windows function. That's it. And what is over? It is just to signify that this is a window function, or I am applying here a window function. Okay. Wherever you see over, think that okay, this is a window function. And partition is nothing but it divides rows into partitions, so we can specify which rows to use to compute the Windows function. And same as ordered and as rows. Okay. Now I have three types, mainly three types of Windows functions. Those are like there is no official division, obviously, on the SQL window function, but on an higher level, I'm just classifying it into three types. That is my aggregation function, my ranking function, and value function. So we'll see each function. Okay, we'll see each function. So I have a data set. Okay, that says about I have a data called this. This is my actual data. Okay, this is my actual data what I have. Here I have new ID and new category. In this I have ID numbers and my the categories or the these are the groups of school like yellow group, red group, and green group. And here I am applying my aggregation function by using Windows function. See how I have applied. Select the two columns. I will select and I'm applying a function. As I said you, I will apply a function and then I am applying my Windows function. And then I will say that partition by new category and ordered by new ID as total. So I will use a total column. I will create a calculated column and then I will be using my total. So here you can see that yellow has total of 100 and then it says total as 300. So it adds up this. So it adds up this and then it is giving me 300. So here as well, you can see in the red, the first thing is as it is 500, but when it comes to second, it is being add up and then it is giving me the answer. And so on and so forth. The average is also the same. The average here is at 200, I can see, and then when it is 300, you will get average as 250 and count and minimum and max, so on. So we'll see practical aspects of this as well. Just I'm explaining these things. Now, what are ranking functions in my Windows function? So see, rank is nothing but it is mostly used by data analyst. Okay, whenever we are finding insights from my data, I will use a rank function. Here you can see I have used or I have selected new ID. Okay, and then I have used a row number function and then over keyword and ordered by ID as row number. Here I can see, you can say I've used a calculated column or I've created a calculated column that says row number. It just signifies or identifies which row it is. So 100 is 1, 200 is 2, 3, nothing but the row number. It gives you the row number. And then I have something called as rank. So what is this now? I've used here rank function. Okay, this is my rank function. I'm highlighting it. This is my rank function. So what it does now, it does see how it does. So what it gives a rank according to the number. Now I have 100, so it gives a rank 1. See, and then I have 200, so it gives the rank 2. Now here the shift comes. Here again I have 200, but it is giving 2, right? It is not giving 3, it is giving 2. But after 2, where is my 3? It skips the 3. Why? Because it is already taking this number, right? It is already taking this number. So it skips my 3 and directly whenever I have again a unique ID, that time it will give me 4. And then again I have unique, I have 5. Then again I have same thing. So again I have 5. But my 6 is skipped. Why? Again I have a unique. So my 6 will be skipped. So this is what my rank function is. And now another function is my dense function. So how does it do? It is same as rank, but it does not skip the number. Like 100, I have 1. Then 200 is my rank number 2, same. Then 300, a unique number, so it gives rank as 3. And then 500 is also unique, so it gives 4. Same, so 4. Now 5 is like 4 is not skipped, right? So again, the next number is 5. So this is what my dense rank function is. And next is what is my percent rank function. Here I have used a percent rank function and I've used over, that is by my order ID as percent rank. So I have added a new calculated column that gives my percent rank. So here you can see a very confusing thing that it is 0, 1.66, 1.66, 0.5. So it's nothing but it says how much percent of data is being covered. So it is first, right? So 0%. Okay, you can take it as percentage. You can take it as percentage. Now, when I come to one, it is 0.16, or else you can also take it as 16%. Here also it is 16%. Now here you can see 0.5, right? Here I have three values. See, you can see here I have three values. Also here I have three values. 0.5, you can take it as 50 percentage or half. That is why it is showing 0.5. And again, the same thing, 66, 66, and here 100 percentage. Understood? So this is what my rank function is all about. And then the next function and very, very important function in my Windows function is my analytical function. Yes, now we have seen aggregation function, we have seen ranks function, and now I have analytical functions. So what does this analytical function is? Let me just clear my screen. So now here you can see I have used or I have took new ID, the name column name. I have used first value, last value, lead, and lag. These are the four functions that are used or that are under analytical function. So what is my first value? Here you can see the first value is whatever I have in my original column. What is the first value? Obviously, I have 100, so it is giving you me 100. Now you might say that, sir, this is the last value might should be 700, but it is giving me the same value as into my column, right? Here I have written a note. If you want to, if you just want to, the single last value from the whole column, we have to use rows between unbounded preceding and unbounded following. This is another concept we'll see into our next upcoming videos. But remember for now that if I use such kind of syntax, then only I will be getting here as 700. Why? This is my last value here, 700. What do I have? Now here again, the next function what I have is lead function. You can see this is my lead function. Here, the lead function is nothing but my first value is skipped. See, 100 is skipped. Directly starts from 200. That is my lead function. 200, 300, and whenever it comes to 700, the last value, I don't have any last value. So it says as null. And lag function is opposite of my lead function. The lag function is opposite to my lead function. Here, it leaves one thing and then starts from 100 to 100, and my 700 is skipped. So this is what a Windows function are. It is very much important when we speak about through the aspect of data scientist and data analyst. Let us see some of the practical aspects of that. Here I have used PostgreSQL. I have created a table, and my table is, you can see, test data underscore one. Just a minute. I'll show you the select star from. So when I run this query, this is what my data is. Okay, this is what my data. Let me just take it. Okay, this is what my data is. Now I want to see my aggregation function. So this is what I will be using as my Windows function. If I run this, yes, this is what I got, right? Into my Windows function of aggregation by using aggregation functions like see total, what is the average, what is the count, minimum, maximum, okay? And then if I want to use my rank functions, see how the output changes. If I want to see the rank function, yes, this is what my rank function is, right? The percentage, the rank, the row number, the rank, the dense rank. These are what the output I will be getting whenever I use my rank function. And when I use the last analytical function, this is what I get. See, this is my lead, okay, and this is my lag. And this is my first value, whatever I have, first value here as 101, right? And last value, it is not giving us 204. Why? Because we are not use that particular syntax. I guess you have understood. Thank you so much for watching till the end of the video. Stay tuned for the upcoming videos. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.